Well, hey everyone, this is an unplanned live feed streaming for me to you. Just kind of seeing what's all going on. Got a little Elvis going on in the background here. So, currently with the Miracles Online podcast, we're taking a little hiatus, restructuring, getting things done. So, you can reach for us over to get the audio stuff on Spotify and a few other podcast platforms such as Apple and I believe um, a few more. But if you go, I'm going to put links down. Um, we also have our Substack for Miracles Online, developing the website, which is now live, miracles-online.com. So a lot of good stuff going down, but I'm really excited. 13th Note, Art of Mastery. We got some really incredible guests coming on, as well as we're developing a few more themes to this show. And we're really excited overall, just what we're doing with the Art of Mastery, 13th Note. And with all that being busy, right? Finished up the baseball scoring book. Now it's getting in stores such as Amazon, as well as team orders that we're going to create. And I'm just setting up. Whoa, big difference on that. I'm setting up my studio here just to kind of get a new flow to it, because tonight I'm going on redpills.tv with Josh Reed, and we're going to make a huge announcement about Conversations on the Fringe show. Conversations on the Fringe show is one of the best shows that I've found on the podcast for years. It's kind of like Coast to Coast with Art Bell, then of course George Nori. It's about all the crazy esoteric conspiracy, but then we also talk about life stuff and so forth. So tonight, big stuff coming out, big announcement, and I hope you can join us. I'm not quite sure what time it is yet, but I know it's going to probably stream across the Facebook platform and those. What I'll do is try to share it. I don't know if I'm able to do all these things. I never realized that podcasting required so many components and hands and so forth. Like for instance, being able to offer the split share screen and real time URL, click this, click that. So I'm having a great time. I'm learning quite a bit about the podcast industry and becoming influencing on certain directions. I don't necessarily think that, coming right out and go, I came out to become an influencer. It wasn't really that. They just somehow evolved to this. And I'm excited just due to the fact that we get to talk about so many things, including what we're going to cover on geopolitical, geofinancial current events that we've seen quite a bit on other podcasts, as well as so-called decodings and discuss current situations and symbolisms and what has all this meant to all of us and what's going on. So if you're an individual that has a little inconsistency of what's all happening, and you find this to be somewhat unnerving or it builds angst to you, I hope you tune in and kind of work with us and listen to what we can share with you to help. And of course, we encourage all the input that you have chiming in. This is how we get communication going. And I have a lot of ideas to help every one of you how to deal with current times and stress and situations as such. So I'm not going to sit here and talk quite much anymore. I just wanted to jump on, kind of say hi to everyone. And I hope everybody enjoy your day. Tune in a little bit later. Redpills.tv. We'll be streaming live on there. Of course, that's through Rumble. We'll also stream out to Facebook here. And if I can catch what we're doing, I'll start streaming and share it onto my LinkedIn, my X, and so forth and so on. Anybody who's interested in podcast guest and you have a great story to tell, get a hold of me and let's do a conversation and kind of see what we can do. Other aspect of it, of course, is that I'm having a great time doing this because I'm sharing knowledge and I'm putting back into the tilt what I took out. We all know that story from my early years. So I'm glad I'm able to contribute. I see myself as the shaman here in the fifth density. And let me explain that to everyone that not quite sure understand what I mean by 5D shaman. Shaman is a somewhat of a caretaker of the village. It's not really the witch doctor or the medicine man or the elder statesman, but yet at the same time, it's all that too. So the shaman entity came about when I started channeling back in 1996, 97. And I really was wetting my getting my feet wet and kind of getting to understand how to connect with the universe and being able to tap onto the frequencies in knowledge and information. And with that, it kind of trained me to go along the whole time to be with the family, the clan, the community. And it was very clear to me that my life service was really about serving our community by overseeing the well-being of our community. So by doing that, that is the number one principle of the shamanism, is that not only we're seeing the well-being of our community, but we're seeing the spirituality connection, the energy of the physical and the mindset of the brain, and to be able to be in harmony, to be able to bring harmony to our world and to our families and our so-called close communities. And the more shamans that we have to basically contribute and help our community, the better off we are. So, and then appropriately, when you know it, as we were talking, Steve Vai comes on, right? So I have this wonderful studio put together now, much easier to work with than the previous version of. And of course, you see pretty much the same layout because it's what I changes the space in the equipment and so forth. Other than that, I just want to say hi to all of you. I hope everyone is having a great day. Of course, yesterday we lost Ace Frehley. Ace Frehley is probably one of my four roundtable guys. When people ask me when I play guitar, they find out I play guitar and they're asking, well, who's your influencer? Who's your favorite? And I can't really say favorites anymore because once you get into guitar as an artistry, you kind of listen to everybody and you find greatness in a lot of people. But in my teenage years, when I first picked up the guitar and started going down the rabbit hole, there was four guys that really made the difference in regards to how I approach it. It was definitely Ace Frehley, Edward Van Halen, Jimi Hendrix, and Jimmy Page. And I will share this with you in regards to what is the difference of what I did. The Ace Frehley aspect of it was the excitement of the showmanship, the excitement of theatrical theater approach to her playing music. And then of course, the sheer coolness of rock stardom. All four of the guys had this vibe to it, but Ace Frehley being in character definitely was innovating in the sense of taking it to new level of the glam, the rock of theatrical shows and that nature. And then ultimately too is that he wasn't a very complex player. He was a very nice pentatonic driven guitarist that I felt that was a great measuring stick, especially in the beginning, because as any rock guitar player starts, if you got down just the so-called the 1-4-5 blues progression and able to play in the pentatonic scale, you were on your way. You that was your great stepping stone. And what's funny is all four guitar players do heavily have this bluesy feel and influence, especially Jimi Hendrix. Okay, so Ace Frehley gave me that in regards to the feel, the thought, the mindset, and the spirit of the theatrical and the approach of simplistic and yet effective. And the first barometer measuring stick, of course, for me was when I was able to play Rock and Roll All Night by Kiss, and then slowly started to graduate to, Strutter, Toe Gin, Come On and Love Me. Those older Kiss Alive album set list was what I really worked hard at, and to be able to accomplish something by playing that I heard on the record was a great pat on the back, and basically it added another uh, log into the fire. So it helped me to motivate and move forward. And then, of course, the second guy that I really got into was Jimi Hendrix because of Ace Frehley. Ace Frehley talked about, my favorite was Jimi Hendrix. Okay, who's Hendrix? And then I saw him one day, Hendrix on TV. I had no idea he was a black guy, and I had no idea he actually did Purple Haze. And of course, I heard these things on AM radio, just had no idea because I'm a clueless kid from Taiwan. And on top of that, no music in my family. So therefore, I was just on an island by myself discovering these things. And once I got into Jimi Hendrix, the flamboyancy is what he kind of gave me the inspiration to follow. The sheer ability to make everything to look easy, look cool doing it. The arm slides on the guitar, the hand over the fretboard, just the closing the eyes, and the whole Jimi Hendrix persona really helped me. And of course, as years went on, later on, I ended up playing in a Hendrix tribute band as a bass player. I had to really study his catalog and start understanding chord inversions and what he was using and so forth. It was so much deeper than any 27-year-old guitar player that I know of. So Jimi Hendrix was huge. And then, of course, then became Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin. And everybody who's seen me on other podcasts recognize that, I've talked about this, especially Led Zeppelin song remains the same. I used to go to the Midnight Theater and see this every Saturday night because there was no VHS of this movie. There was no showing on TV, none of that. Zeppelin was not touring anymore because Bonzo passed in 1980. So for me to get my dose of Led Zeppelin and learn from Jimmy Page, that's how I did it. And what Jimmy Page taught me was song construction and composition and arrangement in a grander scale than just rock songs. And if we listen to Zeppelin 1 to Zeppelin 2, then we listen to Zeppelin 4, and of course, Houses of Holy, and then Physical Graffiti, we see this orchestral influence that he kept on just growing and expanding from. And it's not surprising that now we know, of course, Jimmy Page had learned a lot of stuff while he was in studio, being a studio musician. So that helped quite a bit in regards to how he approached his music with Led Zeppelin. And I just really ate that up because I wanted to be a great guitar player, but I wanted to have these incredible songs too. So that helped in regards to watching him doing the Rain song, definitely Stairway to Heaven. Just those kind of composition arrangements, I thought it was just beautiful. My favorite Led Zeppelin album is actually In Through the Outdoor. So it's their final album before Coda, which was pieced together. But it to me, that was the maturity of the arrangements. And I know John Paul Jones has a lot to do with this as well. But, Jimmy Page is the producer. Jimmy Page is the visionary, so to speak. And he just surrounded himself with just three other fantastic talents. So that helped me tremendously as a songwriter, and ultimately down to the last guy, which is Edward Van Halen. Edward Van Halen just was so inspirational that he made me want to sit in a room, sit on the edge of my bed and practice for hours and hours and hours. It's not just about the two-hand tapping technique either, even though he is the reason why I end up using two-hand tap techniques, because of just how well he orchestrated and composed into lyrical and melodical points. And for me, Edward Van Halen broke the rules and told you so. Don't do me, you do you. And just whatever of the rules, screw it, throw it away, and just follow what, if it sounds good, it sounds good. And when you know it, the delicate of the Carpenters, Karen Carpenter, of course, while we're talking about Edward Van Halen, right? So Edward taught me the commitment aspect of it, the intention with passion, and then ultimately too is just able to deliver that live not standing around, but having monkey hour. And if you ever saw me live when I was in my late teens and early 20s, you saw a show. And the reason why you saw that type of show with that kind of energy is because of these four guys. And I would say there's other people that also involved that became my influence or inspiration for certain things. But these are the four guys with starting off Ace Fairley. So God bless Ace, and return to Jindal, and wishing you the best, of course. And we know you're still around. So ultimately, thank you so much. Just wanted to hang, just wanted to talk, just wanted to share with you what's all going on with the podcast world with me. So like and subscribe, like I always says. And anybody who's out there playing baseball, hit me up. I got all kind of good stuff about baseball. We got a training book coming out, so that's being put together right now. The pitching scoring book. If you're a pitcher and you want to get better, contact me. I'll give you. I have a system. I have a book available for you to score your pitching outings and to help you to understand your statistics better, to be able to help you to enhance your quality of pitching better. So, as you can see, lots of stuff on my burner. And this isn't even talking about Cat, right? Because, Cat's my lovely wife, my bear, and we do everything together. And you think I'm busy. Her desk is twice as high, full of stuff that she needs to finish. So, I just want to say hi to everyone. Miracles Online podcast will be back starting probably next week. And 13th Note Art of Mastery should air Sunday with CEO Adam Weisner of Kingdom Mindset Strategies. This guy is incredible. I just loved our conversation. So that's coming out. Then, of course, tonight, Conversations on the Fringe with Josh Reed. I will see everyone. Talk to you soon. Thanks. And this is where we go click. And then we go click.